Hi, I'm Vivek Gupta. I work as a first line manager in IBM Rational. In this series on Agile, I intend to share our experience in Agile adoption, which we started in year 2008 and which we are still continuing. So before I go into different Agile practices which we implemented, I'll just give you a brief on our team. So the team comprised of 9 to 12 developers and testers, and the average experience of the team was that about 60% of the team was less than 2 years experience, 30% was in the range of 2 to 4 years experience, and only about 10% of the team members were more than 4 years experience on the products which we are working on. So basically we support and enhance IBM legacy tools which have been into existence before Rational acquisition. Since these tools have been widely adopted within IBM, they still continue to exist. And now our mandate is to support the migration of these tools users to new Rational tools, or extend these tools to coexist with the new Rational tools. In terms of our working methodology, the development cycle followed a fixed 6-monthly waterfall life cycle. So at beginning of the release, we would plan the work items, basically the defects and features which will become part of this fixed pack. So planning in terms of the work plan or the test planning, test execution, test reporting, everything would be done through spreadsheets communicated in emails, and they would be stored in a team room, Lotus Notes team room, for archival purpose. Of this 6-month cycle, a major portion of the time would be spent on manual testing for each build that is getting created. Since these products are very stable, a lot of regression testing has to be done, and since it was all manual, we would spend considerable time into testing. For the project tracking, we would do a weekly status meeting, and where we would discuss the updates, the work done, and any blocking issues which are there with the team members. So considering today's working methodology and at that point in time, I feel that we used to spend a lot of time in the weekly meetings. It was difficult to know if someone is blocked until that meetings happen or a follow-up is done during the week. And since there was like no history tracking or no consolidation of the discussions at a central place, we would oftenly spend a lot of time in revisiting that issue without much value add. Also, since our testing cycles were long, so the work was pretty monotonous and repetitive, and it was, since it was all manual, it was not very something very interesting to do for the team members. So in middle of 2008, as part of IBM's software group focus on Agile, we attended a 2-day workshop just to know about what is Agile and what are the Agile practices, how different teams are benefiting from the Agile practices. So basically it talked about the Agile values, basically which are listed here as individual interactions. So these are above the tools and processes. The interactions within the team takes the highest priority. Working software, it's more important than documentation. It's important to have documentation, but it's really the working software which counts. Customer collaboration is an absolute must, since only your customer can tell you what they want. So having a contract with your customer is important from everyone's rights and responsibilities perspective, but a contract isn't a substitute for communication. Changing requirements changes reality of software development, a reality that the process must reflect. So project planning is must, however a project plan must be malleable. There must be room to change it as your situation changes, otherwise your plan quickly becomes irrelevant. Self-organizing team refer to a team which take decision for itself. It does not require command and control, collaborates and communicates extensively amongst itself to achieve the common goals. It's important for this team to maintain a sustainable pace and deliver in an iterative fashion. To ensure that the team is really doing what is needed to be done in an efficient manner, it's important to have a regular reflections meeting on what went well and what can be improved going forward. Fail fast refers to trying out new things. It's okay to fail, learn and then move on. The faster we guess we are wrong, faster we get the learning and move forward. Apart from these agile values, we got an overview on Scrum, basically, which is prioritizing your backlog, breaking down your backlog into a fixed sprint cycle of 2 to 4 weeks, and then to have regular Scrum meetings, daily Scrum meeting, a stand-up meeting of for 15 to 20 minutes during the sprint cycle, and at the end of the sprint do a reflections meeting on what went well and what can be improved in the future sprint cycles. So after this 2-day workshop, we discussed within the team that what is that we can start upon. So being in the middle of a waterfall cycle, the daily stand-up meeting or the Scrum meeting was something that needed nothing, no change in the process, and it could just be started from tomorrow. So we started the daily Scrum meeting on discussing what we did yesterday and what we plan to do today, and are there any blockers in this. And apart from the Scrum meetings, we started to prioritize our backlog, started to give it a focus on is it really important. So although our plan was fixed, which we created in the beginning of the planning cycle, we started to have thoughts, can we change something? We didn't change anything for that cycle, but for the next fixed pack cycle, we were more cautious on what items should be coming in the top of priority list based on the customer expectation. Now just to talk about the experiences from the Scrum meetings which we started in 2008 and which we still continue to do as part of Agile implementation. So the main benefits which I have found is that it really helps bring strong focus within the team and on the task at hand. There's a good visibility on who's doing what, and it's easier to for people to take help. So somebody is, if a person is facing a problem now, and some other team member might have worked on that issue earlier, so an instant help is available, or the team member can take help post that meeting in detailed discussions. On the pitfalls to avoid, what we have seen is, or what we have experienced is that teaming is the central or the key to these Scrum meetings. Timing is important, but timing is not about teaming. So it's better to adjust the Scrum meeting timings where everybody is comfortable rather than having a rigid time schedule. Other pitfall which I think we should avoid is to trying to solve the issues in the meeting, because then it start to waste other people's time. The people get disengaged and the context is lost for other team members. The main thing which all of the team members should focus upon is reporting just the status, then reporting the details on the problems. So it's important to discuss the details, the technical details on how the work item or the work at hand is being approached, or in case a problem has been faced, then what are the things, what are the steps, detailed steps, the technical steps which have been implemented, adopted, than just saying that I'm blocked or I completed this or that. So it's important to add the technical details which adds the real value to the meetings. Some of the deviations we took is that we started on a daily basis, and then we realized that there's not much value we are getting in every day's meeting. So we varied the schedule from daily to different regular schedules. So at times we would do 3 times a week or 2 times a week, depending on the work at hand or the priority on the task at hand. And then other change which we did was that bring up problems. The team members should bring up the problems as soon as they happen, instead of waiting for the Scrum meeting. So in case somebody is blocked, it's better to raise that problem in an impediment work item or in a common placeholder, which everyone can be made aware of. So to help ourselves implement Agile, we adopted Rational Team Concept. It's an Agile planning and tracking tool. You can get more information on www.jazz.net on this tool. So in next series we will see which are the practices which we started, how we assessed ourselves, and how we and which is the next practice which we took.